In a world that's constantly pulling us in every direction, chasing success, wealth, relationships, and endless distractions, have you ever stopped to wonder what real happiness truly looks like? Not the fleeting kind that comes from a new gadget or a weekend getaway, but the deep, unshakable sense of contentment that withstands life's storms. If you're like most people in today's fast-paced America, where stress from work, social media, comparisons, and economic pressures can feel overwhelming, you're probably searching for something more enduring. That's where the ancient philosophy of Stoicism steps in, offering a timeless blueprint for genuine fulfillment. Stoicism, born in the bustling streets of ancient Greece and Rome, teaches us that true happiness isn't about accumulating more or avoiding pain altogether. Instead, it's rooted in a profound shift in perspective, recognizing that happiness doesn't depend on external circumstances, but on our internal world, the things we can control. At the heart of this philosophy is the idea that we can't dictate what happens to us, but we can always choose how we respond. Events like job losses, health challenges, or even daily traffic jams aren't inherently good or bad. It's our judgments and reactions that color them. By focusing on our own thoughts, actions, and virtues, we build a fortress of inner peace that no outside force can breach. One of the greatest Stoic thinkers who embodied this wisdom was Epictetus, born into slavery in the Roman Empire around 50 AD. Epictetus didn't have the luxury of wealth, freedom, or even control over his own body. Legend has it, his master once twisted his leg so badly it left him lame for life. Yet, through sheer force of will and philosophical insight, he rose to become one of history's most influential teachers. Freed later in life, he founded a school where he lectured on living with dignity and purpose. His teachings, captured in works like the Enchiridion and Discourses, weren't abstract theories. They were practical tools forged in the fire of adversity. Epictetus showed that even in chains, the mind remains free. And today, in our modern lives, filled with deadlines, notifications, and uncertainties, his words can be life-changing. They remind us that happiness isn't a destination dictated by luck or luxury. It's a skill we cultivate within. Imagine applying this to your everyday reality. Picture a busy professional in New York City, juggling a high-stakes career, family demands, and the constant hum of urban chaos. According to Stoicism, their happiness wouldn't hinge on landing the next promotion or escaping to a beach vacation. Instead, it would come from mastering their mindset, accepting what they can't change, like market fluctuations or a colleague's attitude, and channeling energy into what they can, like their effort, integrity, and resilience. This isn't about passive resignation, it's active empowerment. Studies from modern psychology, echoing Stoic principles, show that people who practice cognitive reframing, much like Epictetus, report higher levels of well-being and lower stress. It's no wonder Stoicism has surged in popularity among today's leaders, athletes, and entrepreneurs, from Tim Ferriss to elite military personnel who draw on it for mental toughness. In this video, we're diving into 5 powerful quotes from Epictetus that illuminate the path to real happiness. Each one isn't just a pithy saying, it's a transformative insight, complete with explanations rooted in Stoic philosophy and practical applications you can start using today. Whether you're facing a career setback, navigating personal relationships, or simply seeking more joy amid the grind, these quotes will equip you with tools to reclaim your inner peace. By the end, you'll see how embracing these ideas can shift your life from one of reactive struggle to proactive serenity. Let's begin with the foundation. Epictetus often emphasized the dichotomy of control, a core Stoic concept that separates what is up to us, our opinions, désir, and actions from what isn't external events, other people's behaviors, or outcomes. This distinction is the key to unlocking happiness that endures. As we explore these quotes, remember, Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or pretending everything's fine. It's about directing your energy wisely, so you live with purpose and poise. If you're ready to transform how you pursue happiness, stick around. These aren't just ancient words. They're blueprints for a more fulfilled you in the here and now. Now, let's turn to our first quote from Epictetus, one that strikes at the core of Stoic wisdom and has the power to liberate you from unnecessary suffering. He said, "There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will." These words, drawn from his teachings in the Discourses, encapsulate the essence of Stoicism's practical approach to life. At first glance, it might seem simplistic, but dive deeper, and you'll uncover a profound strategy for cultivating lasting joy in a world full of uncertainties. To understand this quote, we must grasp Epictetus's famous dichotomy of control, a foundational pillar of Stoic philosophy. Epictetus taught that everything in life falls into two categories: things that are up to us and things that are not. What falls under our control? Our opinions, or désir, our impulses, and our actions. In short, the inner workings of our mind and character. Everything else, the weather, other people's opinions, economic shifts, health outcomes, or even the traffic on your morning commute, lies beyond our will. Worrying about these externals, Epictetus argued, is not only futile, but actively destructive to our happiness. It's like trying to grasp water in your fist. The more you squeeze, the more it slips away, leaving you frustrated and empty-handed. Why does this matter? Because worry is a thief that steals our present moments. In ancient Rome, Epictetus observed how people, from slaves to emperors, tormented themselves over outcomes they couldn't influence. Fast forward to today, and the same holds true in America, where anxiety disorders affect over 40 million adults. According to mental health statistics, we fret about stock market dips, political elections, or what our boss thinks of our latest project. But Epictetus reminds us that true happiness emerges when we redirect our energy inward. By ceasing to worry about the uncontrollable, we free ourselves to focus on what we can shape: our integrity, our effort, and our responses. This isn't about ignoring reality, it's about embracing it with clarity. Happiness, in Stoic terms, becomes a byproduct of virtuous living, not a fragile state dependent on fortune's whims. Now, let's bring this to life with real-world applications, because Stoicism isn't meant for dusty bookshelves. It's a toolkit for thriving in the chaos of modern existence. Imagine a typical day in the life of someone like you, a mid-level manager in Chicago, staring at your inbox, overflowing with emails. While news alerts buzz about inflation and job market instability, your mind races. What if I get laid off? What if the economy tanks? According to Epictetus, this worry is beyond your will. Economic trends and corporate decisions aren't yours to command. Instead, apply the quote by practicing the dichotomy exercise. Start your morning with a simple journal prompt. List 3 things worrying you today. Then categorize them. Is it the uncontrollable, like a potential recession? Acknowledge it. Then let it go. Shift to the controllable. How can you prepare? By updating your skills or networking. This small habit, done consistently, builds resilience. Research from cognitive behavioral therapy, which draws heavily from Stoic ideas, shows that such reframing reduces anxiety by up to 50% in participants. Take another example. Relationships. Perhaps you're in a rocky partnership, constantly anxious about your partner's moods or fidelity. Epictetus would say their actions are not up to you. Worry won't change them, but your response is choose kindness, set boundaries, or even walk away with dignity if needed. One of my favorite modern stories illustrating this comes from a U.S. Navy SEAL veteran who credits Stoicism for surviving captivity. He couldn't control his captors, but he controlled his mind, refusing to worry about rescue timelines. Back home, he applied it to civilian life, turning potential breakdowns into breakthroughs. You can do the same. Next time traffic snarls your commute, don't fume over the delay. Use the time to listen to a podcast on personal growth, or when social media floods you with images of others' perfect lives. Remember, their vacations aren't in your control, but your gratitude for your own blessings is. To make this actionable, try a week-long challenge inspired by Epictetus. Evening. Reflect on your worries. Write them down. Cross out the uncontrollables and plan actions for the rest. Tools like mindfulness apps, think Headspace or Calm, can help, as they echo Stoic meditation practices. Over time, you'll notice a shift. Less mental clutter means more space for joy. Happiness isn't about never facing storms. It's about not letting them drown your inner calm. As Epictetus lived it from slave to sage, he proved that ceasing worry isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It empowers you to live fully, unburdened by what you can't change. This quote alone has transformed countless lives, from ancient students in Epictetus's school to today's CEOs who swear by Stoic principles for decision-making under pressure. In a culture obsessed with hustle and outcomes, it invites you to reclaim your power. Stop chasing happiness through externals. Build it from within by letting go of worry. As you integrate this, watch how your days feel lighter, your decisions sharper, and your fulfillment deeper. It's the first step on a path where happiness isn't elusive. It's inevitable when you align with your true will. Moving on to our second quote from Epictetus, one that builds directly on the foundation we've laid and empowers you to take charge of your emotional landscape. He wisely stated, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This gem, preserved in his Enchiridion, a handbook of Stoic principles, serves as a stark reminder that life's events are neutral. It's our interpretations and responses that infuse them with meaning, for better or worse. In a society where we're bombarded by challenges, from economic downturns to personal betrayals, this insight isn't just philosophical, it's a lifeline for reclaiming your power and fostering authentic happiness. Let's unpack this quote through the lens of Stoic philosophy. Epictetus, drawing from his own experiences of hardship, emphasized that external events, be they triumphs or tragedies, are not inherently disruptive. What disturbs us is our judgment of them. This ties back to the dichotomy of control. While we can't dictate what befalls us, our reactions are entirely within our domain. Think of it as the Stoic art of responsibility, the ability to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Happiness, according to Epictetus, flourishes when we cultivate virtue in our reactions, patience in adversity, gratitude in abundance, and equanimity in all. It's not about denying emotions. Stoics weren't emotionless robots. Instead, it's about pausing to align your response with reason and character, turning potential setbacks into opportunities for growth. Modern neuroscience supports this. Studies on neuroplasticity show that habitual reframing of events can rewire the brain for greater resilience, reducing the impact of stress hormones like cortisol. Why is this so revolutionary for real happiness? Because in today's America, where hustle culture glorifies constant achievement, we often tie our well-being to outcomes: lose a job, devastated, get a promotion, ecstatic but only temporarily. Epictetus flips the script. Happiness isn't a hostage to fate. It's forged in the fire of your choices. By focusing on reactions, you detach from the roller coaster of externals and anchor in inner stability. This quote echoes across time, influencing thinkers like Viktor Frankl, who survived Nazi concentration camps by finding meaning in his responses, not his circumstances. Epictetus, once a slave, embodied this. When his leg was cruelly broken, he reportedly said, "You have broken my leg," without rage, demonstrating mastery over reaction. In essence, this teaching liberates us from victimhood, inviting us to author our own narrative of fulfillment. Now, let's translate this into practical steps you can apply right away. Because Stoicism thrives in action, not abstraction. Considera common scenario. You're a software engineer in Silicon Valley, and your project gets scrapped due to budget cuts. The event, unchangeable. But your reaction, that's where the magic happens. Instead of spiraling into self-pity, why me? This ruins everything. Pause and reframe. This is a chance to pivot, learn new skills, or even explore entrepreneurship. Use Epictetus's wisdom by practicing the premeditation of evils, a Stoic exercise where you mentally rehearse challenges. Each morning, visualize a potential setback like a heated argument with a colleague and plan a virtuous response. Listen actively, respond calmly, seek understanding. Apps like Stoic or journaling prompts can guide this, turning abstract philosophy into daily habit. Another powerful application: personal relationships. Say your partner forgets an important anniversary amid their work stress. The happening, it's done. But reacting with accusation might escalate into conflict, eroding happiness. Instead, choose empathy. This hurts, but I can express my feelings constructively and use it to strengthen our communication. A real-life example comes from a former athlete I admire, who lost his career to injury. Drawing on Stoic principles, he didn't bitterness take root. He reacted by coaching others, finding deeper purpose. Studies from positive psychology, like those by Martin Seligman, affirm that such adaptive responses lead to post-traumatic growth, where adversity fuels personal evolution. In your life, apply this to social media woes, scrolling through curated highlights that spark envy. React not with resentment, but curiosity. What can I learn from this? Shift to gratitude for your own journey. To embed this quote into your routine, embark on a reaction reset challenge. For the next 7 days, track 3 daily events and your initial impulses. Then, rewrite your response. Stoically, what virtue can I practice here? Courage, wisdom, justice. Share your progress in a notebook or with an accountability partner. If traffic jams your evening drive home in Los Angeles, don't honk in fury. Breathe deeply and reflect on a podcast about resilience. Over time, this builds emotional agility, as evidenced by corporate training programs at companies like Google, which incorporate Stoic techniques to enhance employee well-being. Happiness becomes less about avoiding life's punches and more about dancing with them gracefully. Epictetus's words challenge the American dream's emphasis on external success, urging us toward internal mastery. In a world of uncertainties like the 2024 election aftermath or ongoing inflation pressures, this quote equips you to react with poise, turning obstacles into stepping stones. It's not passive, it's profoundly active, empowering you to craft happiness from the raw material of your reactions. As you embrace this, notice how conflicts lessen, joys amplify, and peace settles in. This is the Stoic path, not changing the world, but changing how you engage with it, one mindful response at a time. Delving deeper into Epictetus's profound insights, our third quote sharpens the focus on the mind's incredible power to shape our reality. He observed, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them." This statement, echoed in his discourses, cuts to the heart of Stoic psychology, revealing that our emotional turmoil stems not from events themselves, but from the lenses through which we perceive them. In an era where misinformation, social pressures, and daily stresses can feel like constant assaults, this quote offers a revolutionary tool for reclaiming mental sovereignty and unlocking sustained happiness. To fully appreciate this wisdom, consider it within the broader Stoic framework. Epictetus built on the ideas of earlier Stoics like Zeno and Chrysippus, who viewed the world as a stage where impressions, fantasiae, arrive unbidden, but our assent to them determines their impact. Things be they a rude comment, a financial loss, or a global crisis, are neutral facts. Disturbance arises when we label them as catastrophic or unfair, fueling anxiety, anger, or despair. Epictetus, shaped by his own trials as a slave, knew this intimately. He couldn't change his captivity, but he could refuse to view it as soul-crushing. Instead, he saw it as a test of virtue, transforming suffering into strength. This isn't denial. Stoics acknowledged pain, but a deliberate choice to interpret events rationally. Modern parallels abound in cognitive psychology. Aaron Beck's cognitive therapy, inspired by Stoicism, treats depression by challenging distorted views, proving that shifting perspectives can alleviate distress. Happiness, then, isn't about altering the world, but refining our inner dialogue, turning disturbances into mere data points for wise action. This quote's potency lies in its challenge to the victim narrative so prevalent in contemporary culture in America today, where mental health conversations are evolving yet stigma persists. We often blame externals for our unrest. Traffic made me angry, or that post ruined my day. Epictetus counters that it's our view, perhaps seeing traffic as a personal affront or the post as a judgment on our worth, that truly disturbs us. By owning our interpretations, we gain freedom. Imagine Emperor Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus's indirect student, applying this amid Rome's plagues and wars. He journaled not complaints, but reframes, maintaining equanimity. Today, this empowers us against the digital age's pitfalls, where algorithms amplify negativity. Happiness becomes an active pursuit. Question your views, align them with truth, and watch peace emerge. Let's make this tangible with everyday applications, turning philosophy into practice for your life in the bustling U.S. landscape. Picture a young professional in Atlanta, scrolling through Instagram, bombarded by influencers' lavish lifestyles. The things, photos of luxury cars and exotic trips, but the disturbance, viewing them as evidence of your own inadequacy, sparking envy and self-doubt. Apply Epictetus by reframing. These are curated highlights, not my reality. What view serves me gratitude for my stable job and relationships? This simple shift, practiced daily, combats comparison culture, Research from the American Psychological Association links social media to increased anxiety, but Stoic-inspired interventions, like limiting exposure and journaling alternative views, reduce it significantly. Another scenario: workplace criticism. Your boss critiques your report harshly during a meeting, the event, words spoken. But if you view it as a personal attack, "I'm a failure," disturbance follows, eroding confidence. Epictetus advises, examine the view. Is it constructive feedback? Reframe it as a growth opportunity. This highlights areas to improve. Building my skills. A compelling story here is that of a tech entrepreneur who faced repeated startup failures. Initially disturbed by viewing them as defeats, he adopted Stoic reframing. These are lessons, not losses, and pivoted to success. Founding a multi-million-dollar company, you can emulate this with a view audit exercise. When upset, pause and ask 3 questions. What's the fact? What's my current view? What's a rational alternative? Tools like the app Day 1 for journaling or therapy apps incorporating CBT can facilitate this. Extend it to broader challenges, like navigating political divisions or economic uncertainty. In 2025 America, with ongoing debates over policy and inflation, news headlines might disturb you if viewed as apocalyptic. Instead, these are events. My view can focus on what I control: voting, budgeting wisely, and fostering community. For relationships, if a friend's cancellation feels like rejection, reframe. It's likely their schedule, not my value. How can I respond with understanding? This builds empathy and resilience. Challenge yourself. Over the next week, identify 5 disturbances, dissect their views, and rewrite them stoically. Share reflections in a group or online forum. Many Stoic communities on Reddit thrive on this. As habits form, happiness deepens, untethered from fleeting impressions. Epictetus's teaching isn't escapist, it's empowering, urging us to master our minds amid life's chaos. In a nation valuing individualism, it aligns perfectly. Your views are your domain, the ultimate form of self-reliance. By shedding distorted lenses, you invite clarity, where disturbances fade and true contentment shines. This quote transforms passive suffering into active wisdom, paving the way for a life of purpose. Embrace it, and discover that happiness isn't hidden in perfect circumstances. It's revealed in perfected perceptions. Continuing our exploration of Epictetus's timeless guidance, we arrive at a quote that captures the very soul of Stoic living and its direct path to enduring happiness. He declared, "The essence of philosophy is that a man should so live that his happiness shall depend as little as possible on external things." This profound assertion, found in his Enchiridion, distills Stoicism into an actionable mandate, urging us to redesign our lives around inner fortitude rather than outer dependencies. In a consumer-driven America, where happiness is often marketed as the next purchase or achievement, this quote serves as a radical call to self-sufficiency, promising a freedom that no material possession can provide. To grasp the depth of this teaching, let's situate it within Stoic doctrine. Epictetus viewed philosophy not as idle speculation, but as a practical discipline for daily life, a way of being that prioritizes virtue over vice. The essence he speaks of is the cultivation of wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance, the 4 cardinal Stoic virtues. By living in accordance with these, we minimize reliance on externals like wealth, status, health, or relationships, which are inherently unstable and beyond full control. Happiness, or eudaimonia, in Greek terms, isn't a fleeting emotion, but a state of flourishing achieved through self-mastery. Epictetus, who owned nothing as a slave, yet possessed unassailable peace, exemplified this. His lameness didn't diminish his joy because it wasn't tied to his body. This echoes Seneca's letters and Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, where externals are seen as indifference, neither good nor bad, but opportunities to exercise virtue. Contemporary philosophy and psychology reinforce this. Positive psychology pioneer Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi's concept of flow aligns with Stoic focus on intrinsic activities, showing that internal engagement yields deeper satisfaction than external rewards. Why does this matter for real happiness today? In 2025 America, amid rising costs of living and the gig economy's unpredictability, many chase happiness through accumulation, bigger homes, foncier, or viral fame, only to find it hollow. Epictetus warns that such dependencies create vulnerability. A market crash strips wealth. A breakup shatters security. True philosophy, he insists, builds an inner citadel, where happiness resides in character alone. This isn't asceticism. Stoics enjoyed life's goods without attachment, but a balanced detachment. Think of historical figures like Admiral James Stockdale, a Vietnam POW who survived torture by applying Epictetus's principles, depending not on rescue, but on his resolve. In our era, this quote combats the hedonic treadmill, where more stuff breeds more dissatisfaction. By depending less on externals, we foster resiliency, turning life's uncertainties into arenas for growth. Let's ground this in practical applications, transforming abstract essence into concrete habits for your modern routine. Envision a teacher in Denver, overwhelmed by student loans and societal pressure to keep up with colleagues' lifestyles. Her happiness wavers with each paycheck or social event. Applying Epictetus, she shifts. Philosophie-essence means auditing dependencies. Start with a dependency detox inventory. List what you tie happiness to: gadgets, approvals, comforts. Then question, can I be content without this? For externals like a promotion, pursue it virtuously, but detach from the outcome. Instead, derive joy from the effort itself, preparing thoroughly, acting ethically. Daily practices amplify this. Begin with morning meditation, visualizing a day stripped of luxuries yet rich in purpose. Apps like Insight Timer offer Stoic guided sessions, helping you focus on internals. Another example, health and fitness in a wellness-obsessed culture. You might depend on gym results for self-worth. Distressed by a setback like injury, Epictetus advises, live so happiness depends little on the body. View it as a vessel, not the essence. Reframe exercise as virtue building, discipline in routine, moderation in goals. An inspiring tale is that of a cancer survivor who, inspired by Stoicism, found happiness not in remission external, but in daily gratitude and family bonds internal. In relationships, don't hinge joy on a partner's presence. Cultivate self-completeness, making connections enhancements, not necessities. For financial stress common in U.S. households facing inflation, build habits like budgeting with detachment. Save wisely, but find contentment in simplicity. Challenge. Over 2 weeks, eliminate one external dependency weekly. Week 1. No social media validation. Post less. Reflect more. Week 2. Practice voluntary discomfort, like cold showers, to lessen reliance on comfort. Journal progress. How did minimizing this external boost my inner peace? Extend this to career ambitions. In competitive fields like tech or finance, where layoffs loom, tie happiness to skill development and ethical conduct, not titles. Entrepreneurs often fail here, chasing venture capital highs. But Stoic founders succeed by valuing process over profits, broader societal applications. Amid climate anxieties or political divides, depend less on perfect policies. Focus on personal actions like community volunteering. This essence fosters agency. Happiness isn't bestowed by circumstance, but built by choice. As habits solidify, evidenced by studies showing Stoic practices reduce materialism-linked depression, you'll experience lighter burdens and amplified joys. Epictetus's words redefine philosophy as life's operating system, minimizing external glitches for smoother inner function. In a nation pursuing happiness as a right, it reveals the pursuit itself as internal. By living this essence, you craft unbreakable fulfillment, where storms rage outside, but calm reigns within. This quote isn't a suggestion, it's a blueprint for liberation, inviting you to depend on the one constant, yourself. As we approach the final quote in our journey through Epictetus's wisdom, we encounter a teaching that elegantly ties together the themes of acceptance, control, and inner harmony. Epictetus advised, don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will, then your life will flow well. This insight, woven into his discourses, represents the pinnacle of Stoic surrender, not resignation, but a profound alignment with reality that paves the way for effortless tranquility. In a fast-changing world, where plans derail and expectations shatter, this quote isn't just advice, it's a formula for transforming friction into flow, allowing true happiness to emerge from the currents of life itself. To fully embrace this quote, let's explore its roots in Stoic thought. Epictetus drew from the concept of amor fati, or love of fate, later popularized by Nietzsche, but inherent in Stoicism's reverence for nature's order. The universe, Stoics believed, unfolds according to logos, a rational, interconnected principle beyond our full comprehension. Wishing for outcomes to match our desires sets us against this flow, breeding disappointment and resistance. Instead, Epictetus urges a radical reversal: desire what is, not what could be. This wishing isn't passive wishing, it's an active reorientation of the will toward acceptance, where we affirm events as they come. Happiness flows well because we're no longer swimming upstream, clinging to illusions of control but gliding with the river of existence. Epictetus lived this amid his enslavement. He didn't wish for freedom prematurely, but aligned with his circumstances, finding purpose in teaching. Modern Stoic interpreters, like Ryan Holiday, in The Obstacle is the Way, echo this, showing how embracing reality turns barriers into breakthroughs. Psychology backs it too. Acceptance and Commitment Therapy, ACT, inspired by Stoic ideas, demonstrates that aligning with what is reduces suffering and enhances well-being by fostering psychological flexibility. This teaching's relevance shines brightly in contemporary America, where the pursuit of personalized dreams often clashes with unpredictable realities. From climate disruptions to career pivots in an AI-driven job market, we face constant flux. Epictetus challenges the manifestation mindset prevalent in self-help circles, wishing for ideal scenarios which can lead to frustration when life deviates. Instead, by wishing for things as they unfold, we cultivate adaptability, where happiness isn't conditional on perfection but resilient in imperfection. Consider historical exemplars like Thomas Edison, who faced thousands of failed experiments, not as curses but as steps in the process, aligning his wishes with reality's lessons. In 2025, with ongoing global uncertainties like supply chain issues or hybrid work shifts, this quote equips us to flow rather than fight, turning potential chaos into serene progress. Now, let's apply this practically, bridging ancient insight to your daily grind for tangible transformation. Imagine a freelance writer in Seattle whose major client cancels a contract unexpectedly, derailing financial plans. The instinct: resist. This shouldn't happen. I wished for stability, but Epictetus guides: wish for it, as it is a redirection. Reframe. This opens doors to new opportunities. How can I adapt? Start with a flow affirmation ritual. Each morning, affirm: today, I wish for events to unfold, as they will, and I'll meet them with grace. When disruptions hit like a delayed flight during business travel, don't rage against the airline. Use the time productively, perhaps reading or networking. Tools like gratitude journals can help. Note 3, as it is moments daily, shifting from resistance to appreciation. In personal crises, this quote proves invaluable. Say you're dealing with a health diagnosis that upends your fitness routine. Wishing against it breeds bitterness. Wishing for it as part of your path allows focus on manageable aspects like treatment adherence and mindset. A moving example is that of a veteran returning from service with PTSD who applied Stoic acceptance. Instead of wishing away the trauma, he wished to integrate it, building a support group that helped others. Studies from the VA show acceptance-based therapies lower symptom severity. For relationships, if a friendship fades naturally, don't force revival. Wish for the evolution, freeing energy for deeper connections. Amid broader challenges, like navigating 2025's economic volatility with rising interest rates. Wish for market realities rather than boom. Fantasies adjust budgets, upskill, and find stability in simplicity. To integrate this, launch an acceptance flow challenge. For 10 days, track 1 daily misalignment, an event you resisted. Then, rewrite your wish. I wish for this as it is, and here's how I'll flow with it. Pair it with evening reflection. How did aligning make my life flow better? Apps like Reflectly facilitate this with prompts. In parenting, if kids' schedules clash with yours, wish for the chaos as growth improvise, family time creatively. Professionals in high-stakes fields, like healthcare workers, post-pandemic, use this to avoid burnout. Wish for shifts as they come, focusing on present impact. As patterns emerge, happiness flows well, less drained by shoulds, more energized by is. Epictetus's final quote in our series isn't defeatist, it's liberating, inviting harmony with life's rhythm. In a culture fixated on control, it reminds us that true power lies in alignment, where wishes meet reality and happiness streams forth. By adopting this, you unlock a life of ease, where every twist becomes a turn toward fulfillment. This completes our quotes, but the real change begins when you live them. As we've journeyed through these 5 transformative quotes from Epictetus, we've uncovered a blueprint for real happiness that's as relevant in ancient Rome as it is in today's America. A happiness rooted not in fleeting externals, but in the unyielding strength of our inner world. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've explored. First, Epictetus taught us to cease worrying about things beyond our will, freeing our minds from the chains of the uncontrollable. Then, he reminded us that it's not events themselves, but our reactions to them that shape our lives. We delved into how disturbances arise from our views, not the things we encounter, empowering us to reframe perceptions for clarity and peace. The essence of philosophy, as you described, is living with minimal dependence on externals, building a self-reliant joy. Finally, by wishing for things as they actually unfold, we allow life to flow with grace, turning resistance into harmony. These aren't isolated sayings, they're interconnected threads in the Stoic tapestry, each reinforcing the others to weave a life of purpose and resilience. Together, they challenge the modern narrative that happiness comes from accumulation or avoidance, bigger salaries, perfect relationships, or endless comforts. Instead, Epictetus shows us that true fulfillment emerges when we master our minds, align with reality, and live virtuously amid uncertainty. Think about it. In a nation grappling with mental health crises, economic shifts, and digital overload, these principles offer a countercultural antidote. They echo in the stories of everyday heroes, from the entrepreneur who rebounds from failure by reframing setbacks, to the parent navigating family stresses with calm acceptance. Epictetus himself rose from slavery to sage, proving that no circumstance can steal our inner freedom if we choose otherwise. Modern adopters, like business leaders using Stoicism for decision-making, or athletes building mental toughness, attest to its life-changing power. By integrating these quotes, you're not just reading philosophy, you're practicing it, turning abstract wisdom into tangible shifts that elevate your daily existence. But knowledge alone isn't enough. Transformation demands action. So, here's your call to embark on this Stoic path with intention. Start small. Choose one quote each week and make it your guiding light. In week 1, apply the first by journaling your worries and releasing the uncontrollables, noticing how your energy redirects toward productive pursuits. Week 2, focus on reactions during challenges, pausing to respond with virtue rather than impulse, perhaps in a heated work meeting or a family disagreement. By week 3, audit your views on daily disturbances, reframing them to uncover hidden opportunities. In week 4, minimize dependencies on externals through simple acts like practicing gratitude or voluntary simplicity, detaching from material crutches. Finally, in week 5, practice wishing for life as it is, embracing unexpected twists as part of your growth. Track your progress in a dedicated notebook. What shifted? How did happiness feel more accessible? Share your experiences. Join online Stoic communities. Discuss with friends, or even comment below this video. Your story could inspire someone else on their journey, creating a ripple effect of resilience. Remember, this isn't a quick fix, it's a lifelong practice. Epictetus didn't promise an easy road, but one worth traveling, a path where happiness isn't chased but cultivated, emerging naturally from a well-ordered soul. In the hustle of American life, with its demands and distractions, embracing these teachings can redefine your reality. Less anxiety about the future, more presence in the now, less dependence on others' approval, more self-assured confidence, less turmoil from chaos, more serene flow. You're equipped now with tools that have stood the test of centuries, ready to face whatever comes: job uncertainties, personal losses, or societal upheavals with poise and purpose. As you close this video, carry Epictetus's wisdom forward. Let it remind you that real happiness is within your grasp, not as a distant dream, but as a daily choice. You've taken the first step by engaging here. Now, live it out. The Stoic life awaits not one of stoic endurance alone, but of vibrant, unshakable joy. Thank you for joining this exploration. If these quotes resonated, like, subscribe, and share how you're applying them. Together, we're building a community of modern Stoics, one mindful step at a time. Until next time, may your life flow well.